bit of a strange word. I find that it's being overused in the retail industry, and I think there are different definitions of what it means. And I think we run the risk in using the word omnichannel of suggesting that experiences need to be the same across channels. What I think is that what we ought to be doing is really looking at each channel that we operate in, be it mobile, be it in-store, be it online, and we need to be looking to maximize the experience for consumers in each of those channels. Each of them have different attributes, and we can celebrate those different attributes as we create these experiences. Ultimately, yes, we can use technology to join those experiences and make them seamless across channels, but we really shouldn't dumb down the whole experience in the interest of omnichannel. I think the first and most important thing for them to do is to understand where we are in history, and the fact that, you know, we live in a world where the biggest store in the world is in my pocket. It's in my mobile device. And we're starting to see that technology now spill over into other devices. We're seeing objects in our homes, in our cars, that are now infused with technology, infused with sensors that are starting to make buying decisions and recommendations for us. We're seeing the advent of virtual technologies that are going to allow us to literally transport ourselves into different buying experiences. So the idea that a store is a distribution vehicle for products is really something that I think is fast becoming history. And in fact, what we need stores for now as consumers is we need distribution vehicles for experiences. And fortunately, we can still have experiences in stores that we can't fully replicate online. So I think stores really have to begin to ask themselves, you know, what is it that's going to bring someone off the sofa, into the car, and bring them to my store? What is it that I can do here that will be memorable, that will be personalized, that will somehow be unique and remarkable? And I always say, you know, is your store selfie worthy? You know, is it worth somebody coming and taking a selfie in your store and talking about it with friends on social media? And frankly, if it's not, then you're falling short. So I have a theory that what's actually happening in the world is that media in all of its various forms, whether it's my smart TV or my social network or a connected billboard, all of those forms of media are in essence becoming the store. They are fully capable now of merchandising product assortments, of providing product information and facilitating purchase. So in that world, my belief is that physical stores are actually now becoming a form of media, and that the role and purpose of the store is shifting from being one of simply, you know, distributing products to now becoming really the catalyst for a consumer's journey with a brand. So what does that mean? What does customer experience mean? It means, first of all, that stores need to make a better effort to engage consumers on all sensory levels. So it's not good enough anymore to have a nice looking store. And here we are in Dubai, where there are thousands of beautiful, beautiful stores. But we really want to make sure that consumers are engaged in their sense of sight, touch, smell, what they hear, that it's a fully immersive experience. The second thing is we need to make sure that each branded experience is unique, so that each brand is really putting their fingerprint on that experience and making it something that the consumer can't find anywhere else. And they can do that with different language, with different forms of experience in store. And they really need to make sure, in the same way that Tesla did in their showrooms, making sure that it's a completely unique experience. We need to have an element of surprise in retail. We need to give consumers something that they didn't expect to get when they came in. And ultimately, we need to make all of this repeatable. So we need to make sure that brands are literally scripting and rehearsing those experiences to the point where they are absolutely flawless. So I think interestingly enough, I think the dominant shoppable object will be invisible really to us. My belief is that we're eventually going to come to a point where we have almost an omnipresent digital assistant that's with us at all times and is fully transferable across objects. So, you know, if we sort of fast forward 20 years, I foresee a place where my home, my appliances, my car, myself, my body, everything is literally subscribed to a service. I don't know what that service will be, whether it's Amazon or Apple or Google, who knows. But I think that our consumer lives will more or less be managed through subscription. I think many of our needs are going to be anticipated. So, based on my preferences, based on my consumption patterns, recommendations are going to be made, orders are going to be placed. I may approve things now and then, but most of my consumption is going to be managed for me, which sounds awful. On one hand, it sounds like we're losing free will, but on the other hand, I would argue that it gives us a lot more time to focus on shopping for the things that we enjoy. And we can all go out and buy that Porsche that we want. Surprisingly, or perhaps not surprisingly, it's outsiders. What we're seeing right now is that it's the incumbents in the industry that are being rocked. It's the department store channel, and the historical players in those channels. Even Walmart, that only 20 years ago seemed invincible, is now being sort of pushed into a corner by challengers like Amazon and Alibaba. And so, the difference in mindset is quite startling. You have incumbents that are sort of mired in this belief that there are rules in retail and you have to do things a certain way, and that those rules, in essence, become obstacles. And then on the other hand, you have Jeff Bezos over at Amazon that looks at the idea of lining up at a cash register and says, well, we'll have enough of that. We'll do away with that completely. And that's exactly what they're doing. So they're challenging all these paradigms that have existed in the retail industry for 200 years and successfully overcoming them. So the lesson, I guess, in all of that is that incumbent retailers need to start thinking like disruptors. They need to somehow break themselves out of this mindset that there are these rails that they need to stay on, and they need to start challenging themselves and disrupting themselves.